Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. This is Kevin from Visible Insights, and here's something for your performance edge. Hey, have you ever gone to a conference? And I'm sure you have. You've been to leadership conferences. They're all over the place. It could be a business conference. It could be any kind of conference, actually. You think about it. And typically, what happens at the conferences there are many speakers. And the speakers really begin to share key concepts, ideas, themes, theories, all kinds of things. And it's great. You know, like you have so much available to us today. It's incredible. And there's so many brilliant people out there putting together incredible content that's game-changing in a lot of ways. However, this is the challenge, because I was a guy who was just a conference freak. I mean, I went to every conference you could think of, and as a part of going to a conference, I had, each notebook. I had 1 million notebooks with all kinds of information, and really ultimately very little application. In other words, it felt really good. You got kind of a half a day, or sometimes if it was like down south or, up north or out west or whatever, I mean, you got some days off. And you got to take in the sights and have some great food. And, obviously networking was really key with all that. And I would get these concepts. And there was always those moments, right? There's always two moments at conferences, right? The one where you wish someone else was there to hear what this person was saying, right? Because we all think that sometimes, like, I wish so-and-so was here. They really need to hear this. And then, or the second one is you have the that thing where it's a quote. It's a really snazzy, nugget. And you're going like, oh man, that's good, right? And then you get home and the day-to-day's been waiting for you and it's been building up. So the line is long and the needs are many, and you're just like in it, and you're like going like that whole tablet full of all that genius is like sitting in the corner, and 2 weeks turns into 2 months, and 2 months turns into 2 years. It's on the shelf somewhere. Maybe you fragmentally remember some of those kinds of things and all that stuff, but ultimately it goes nowhere. So what do you do with it? Well, I'm here to help you with that. And I want to talk about the idea of active focal points, because here's the thing with concepts. All concepts are important. I mean, there's a reason why they're a concept, they're a construct, but not all concepts are relevant. So how do you determine what's relevant? How do you, factor in that? And that's where active focal points come in. And what I mean by active focal points are, hey, there's a process that I have in place in terms of how I do my job. It's a structure. And that structure is important to have, and is often something that's overlooked with emerging leaders, CEOs, business people. We have processes a lot of times when it comes to product, but we don't have it in terms of our workflow or how we attack our job in terms of what we do and how we do what we do. And so because we don't have those structures in place, we have nowhere to hang the concepts. And that's where active focal points come in. Active focal points are parts of your structure, specifically, whatever it is that you do, that allows you to take that specific concept and apply it in such a way that it actually makes a difference in your leadership or in your life. For instance, one of the things that I teach many of the folks that I coach that have direct reports, I often tell them what we have to understand is your direct report, when it's that specific meeting, is not your meeting with them, it's their meeting with you. And what we need to do is put in place a structure around how you get information so that they're setting up the agenda and asking you as the leader to speak into the agenda. They're driving the agenda. So that's an ultimate level of empowerment. As long as I have some element of reporting that occurs to me regularly, and that reporting is accompanied by some things they want to talk with me about, and then them asking me, what can I contribute to that? That is an incredible focal point. That is a beautiful focal point. It is a structure. And so because that structure means that in our meeting, it's their meeting with me. That means they're going to be hosting the meeting. That means I'm going to be there to assist them, to help them succeed. Now, all of a sudden, I'm reading, or I went to a conference and heard John Maxwell talk about the 5 levels of leadership. And I'm realizing that in this element of all this concept that I have, how it fits into this structure. And now in our conversation, one of the agenda items is on influence. Now I'm geared. I actually have something to directly connect a value to our time together. So when they're coming to me and they're saying, hey, Kev, this is, my report. Here's what I'm gleaning through the report. I'm seeing, there could be some influence issues there. And then all of a sudden, hey, these are the things I want to talk about on their agenda with me. And then one of them is I'm struggling with influence on my team. My team's not responding well to my leadership. Oh, wow. Now, I'm pulling that out. I got something now. I can hang that specific concept into that structure. And this is vital because when we don't have anywhere to hang it, it just floats. It just hangs and goes everywhere. And it doesn't serve us at the level that it possibly could. So that's my challenge for you. Have you really thought through the structures that you have so you can have active focal points? That one thing that pops, that active focal point within that structure that allows you to take all this wonderful stuff you're learning and have learned and will learn and apply it directly to something that makes a difference. That is a challenge. Now, this is next level. But I'm challenging you. Today I'm in a challenging mode. So I just want to give you something to think about, maybe in a way you haven't thought of before. So the next time you go to that conference, hey, always be thinking through your workflows and your structures and what you have. And then when you're writing your notes in, just hashtag whatever is that structure that it approaches to. When you get back, you'll have instant levels of impact. And I'm telling you, it will make a huge difference on lots of levels, not just for you, but the people you lead at work and at home. Hey guys, always remember this. When you see the invisible, you become unstoppable. So do some damage out there, everybody. Take care.